Game log. Cards win in 16 innings. For the second night in a row, the Cardinals thrilled the Busch Stadium crowd with late-game dramatics. And for the second night in a row, though it took a while, they finished it off in style, winning a Marathon Series opener with the Los Angeles Dodgers 4-3 in the 16th inning on a walk-off home run by Matt Adams. The game matched the longest in the long history between the Cardinals and the Dodgers. The clubs also played 16 innings in 1963 at Dodger Stadium and in 1957 at Ebbetts Field. It also was the rubber match in that category. The Dodgers won 2-1 in 16 innings in 57. The Cardinals triumphed 3-2 in 16 innings in 63. They now own the 16-inning series 2-1. This time, Adams tied into a 0-1 pitch from Bud Norris and launched it over the Cardinals' bullpen in right field to send what was left of a crowd of 41,915 home happy. Adams' 11th homer of the season traveled an estimated 444 feet and gave the Cardinals 52-44 their fifth consecutive win. They climbed to a season-best 8 games above .500. It was the second walk-off homer for Adams in his career and, oddly enough, the second time he has homered in a 16th inning. He also homered in the 16th on September 4, 2013 at Cincinnati, also was a Cardinals win. In short, he is Mr. 16th inning. On Thursday night, the club used a 3-run homer by Stephen Piscotty to tie the San Diego Padres in the 8th, then won 6-5 in the 9th on a hit by Aldemys Diaz. This time, the Comeback Cardinals were down to their last out in the 9th, when Jedd Gyorko homered to tie the game and send it to extra innings. Gyorko's blow came moments after Justin Turner homered off reliever Seung Hwan Oh to give the Dodgers a 3-2 lead in the top of the 9th. That 416-foot blast to center field was Turner's 18th homer and appeared to provide the visiting Dodgers a difference.But Street. Louisan Yogi Berra once said, "It's ain't over till it's over," and on Friday night, it wasn't over until Gyorko batted. His homer was the first by a Cardinal to tie a game with 2 outs in the 9th since Reggie Sanders had such a dramatic blow in 2004. It also extended the Cardinal string to 13 games with at least one homer. It is the longest streak since they put together 19 consecutive homer games in 2006. With 2 outs and nothing happening in the 9th, Gyorko victimized Los Angeles closer Kenley Jansen, tying the game 3-3 and sending it to extra frames. It was the 5th homer of the week for Gyorko and the 12th homer of the season. He continues to make a statement at third base. The Cardinals fell behind 1-0 to the Dodgers in the first inning, as they reached starter Michael Wacha. Chase Utley doubled to start the game, and came home on the first of 4 hits for shortstop Corey Seager. But the Cardinals took a 2-1 lead in the third. With 2 outs and on, Diaz pulled a Brandon McCarthy pitch for a hit to left center field. The single chased home Kolten Wong with a tying run, and when outfielder Joc Pederson mishandled the ball, Tommy Pham scored all the way from first to give the Cardinals the lead. Meanwhile, Wacha flirted with trouble throughout. In the 6th, Howie Kendrick pulled the right-hander 2-0 pitch down the right field line and just far enough for his fifth home run, also pulling the Dodgers even at 2-2. Wacha left after 6 resilient innings, having allowed 10 hits and 1 walk. But the score remained knotted. McCarthy appeared to suffer a cramp while pitching to Yadier Molina with 1 out in the 7th and had to leave the game. He allowed just 3 hits. The Cardinals threatened in the bottom of the 8th. Diaz reached with a 1-out bunt single, then took second on Piscotty's long fly out to left. With 2 outs, Matt Holliday had a chance to be the hero, after getting hit in the face with a pitch the night before. Holliday made a bid, but his smash carried to Pederson in center field for the 3rd out. Oh entered the game in the top of the 9th and after getting Seager out on a drive to center, he gave up the homer to Turner. But with the Cardinals down to their last out, Gyorko pulled Jansen's first pitch into the bleachers and left for a tight. It was only the 2nd home run Kenley has allowed all season. Homer exchanged in Turner's 9th-inning home run off Cardinals reliever Seung Hwan Oh appeared to give the visiting Los Angeles Dodgers a 3-2 victory at Busch Stadium. But Street. Louisan Yogi Berra once said, "It's ain't over till it's over," and on Friday night, it wasn't over until Jedd Gyorko batted. With his team down to its last out in the bottom of the 9th, Gyorko blasted the home run off Los Angeles closer Kenley Jansen, tying the game 3-3 and sending it to extra innings. It was the 12th homer of the season for Gyorko, who continues to make a home at third base. As mentioned, the Dodgers enjoyed the dramatics first. With 1 out in the 9th, Turner turned on an 0-0 pitch and drove it 416 feet over the center field wall for his 18th homer of the season, giving the Dodgers their second, and seemingly timely, lead. The Cardinals fell behind 1-0 to the Dodgers in the first inning, as they reached starter Michael Wacha. Chase Utley doubled to start the game, and came home on the first of 4 hits for shortstop Corey Seager. But the Cardinals took a 2-1 lead in the 3rd. With 2 outs and on, Aldemys Diaz pulled a Brandon McCarthy pitch for a hit to left center field. The single chased home Kolten Wong with a tying run, and when outfielder Joc Pederson mishandled the ball, Tommy Pham scored all the way from first to give the Cardinals the lead. Meanwhile, Wacha flirted with trouble throughout. In the 6th, Howie Kendrick pulled the right-hander 2-0 pitch down the right field line and just far enough for his 5th home run, also pulling the Dodgers even at 2-2. Wacha left after 6 resilient innings, having allowed 10 hits and 1 walk. But the score remained knotted. The Cardinals had threatened in the bottom of the 8th. Diaz reached with a 1-out bunt single, then took second on Stephen Piscotty's long fly out to left. With 2 outs, Matt Holliday had a chance to be the hero, after getting hit in the face with a pitch the night before. Holliday made a bid, but his smash carried to Pederson in center field for the 3rd out. Oh entered the game in the top of the 9th and after getting Seager out on a drive to center, he gave up the homer to Turner. But with the Cardinals down to their last out, Gyorko pulled Jansen's first pitch into the bleachers and left for a 3-2 tie. It was only the 2nd home run Kenley has allowed all season. Dodgers tie it. Howie Kendrick had the right distance and location for his sixth-inning home run, as the Dodgers pulled into a 2-2 tie with the Cardinals at Busch Stadium. Kendrick pulled the 2-0 Michael Wacha pitch down into the right field corner, and it sneaked over the wall, 362 feet away, for his fifth home run. Wacha then got into more trouble. He allowed a single to Yasmani Grandal and a one-out double to Scott Van Slyke, whose drive down into the left field corner bounced over the wall. It was the 10th Dodgers hit off Wacha. But Wacha, as he has done all night, worked out of the jam. He broke the bat in pitcher Brandon McCarthy's hands and got him to tap out. He then retired leadoff man Sept on a fly to shallow right, escaping further damage. The outcomes thrust the Cardinals bounced back to score 2 runs in the third inning and take the 2-1 lead over the visiting Los Angeles Dodgers at Busch Stadium. The Dodgers grabbed a 1-0 lead in the first off starter Michael Wacha. But Wacha pitched out of a jam in the top of the third, striking out Adrian Gonzalez and Howie Kendrick with 2 runners aboard, and his mates responded with a rally in the bottom half of the frame. The uprising against Dodgers pitcher Brandon McCarthy began with a walk to Jedd Gyorko. Kolten Wong bounced into a fielder's choice, reaching first with 1 out. The bunting Wacha then failed to move Wong over. But with 2 outs, the second baseman stole second, his 4th steal of the season. Leadoff batter Tommy Pham ran the count to 3-2 and drew a walk from McCarthy. Aldemys Diaz then rammed McCarthy's next pitch into left center field for a game-tying single. When center fielder Joc Pederson bobbled the ball in the outfield, Pham scored all the way from first, giving the Cardinals a 2-1 lead. Although there was no play at home, Pham slid across the plate, perhaps to demonstrate to his manager he got the message. After Thursday's rallying 6-5 win, Cardinals manager Mike Matheny commented about Pham failing to slide on his 9th-inning double. Diaz, who was the walk-off hero on Thursday night, was credited with his 52nd RBI, while Pham's run was associated with an error credited to Pederson. Diaz took second on the play, but Stephen Piscotty bounced out to end the inning. Moments later, Cardinals catcher Yadier Molina made a terrific play in the top of the 4th to help Wacha protect the lead. The Dodgers put 2 runners aboard with 1 out. When McCarthy attempted to move the runners up with a bunt, Molina fielded and threw to third to nip the leader runner, Yasmani Grandal. Wacha then retired Utley on a roller to second to end the threat. Dodgers start fast Michael Wacha lasted only 4 innings in his last start for the Cardinals, and he will have to settle down to last that long this time out. The visiting Los Angeles Dodgers scored the 1st-inning run to take a 1-0 lead on Wacha and the Cardinals on Friday night at Busch Stadium. And it could have been more. Los Angeles got a leadoff double from Sept and a run-scoring single from Corey Seager to produce a 1-0 lead just 2 batters into the game. Wacha then issued a 1-out walk to Adrian Gonzalez before Howie Kendrick pinched Piscotty against the right field wall for the 2nd out. The runners moved to second and third. With 2 outs, Yasmani Grandal broke his bat into as he chopped a slow roller toward second. Wacha came off the mound and was nearly hit by the business end of the bat as it helicoptered onto the infield. Wacha couldn't make a play on the ball, but a charging Kolten Wong fielded and threw in one motion, retiring Grandal and robbing the Dodgers of another run. For their part, the Cardinals were retired in order by Los Angeles starter Brandon McCarthy and continued to trail 1-0. Holliday is back when Cardinals outfielder/first baseman Matt Holliday was hit in the face by a pitch on Thursday. He left the game immediately, blood splattered on his face. The Cardinals later announced there was no fracture and that Holliday would be day-to-day. That announcement might have said hour to hour. Less than 24 hours later, Holliday is back in the saddle as the Cardinals opened a 3-game set with the visiting Los Angeles Dodgers. Holliday was hit near the left side of his nose and the upper lip by a 95 miles per hour fastball from San Diego hurler Andrew Cashner. "He's still a little sore, but we got lucky," Matt Adams said. "He was anxious to get back in there today." If it's possible to categorize getting hit in the face with a baseball lucky, this was such a case. It could have been much worse, at least in terms of collateral damage. Besides no broken bones, Holliday had no stitches to his upper lip and all of his teeth are fully intact. "There's some athleticism in there to make sure the ball doesn't get you," Matt Adams said. "That's part of the game. You know, when you get in there anything can happen. But you can't necessarily prepare for that or be thinking about it, or else you might take away from your chances for success. You just have to play the game and trust your instincts to be able to react." Matt Adams speaks from experience. The situation on Thursday was not unlike the game in May 1998 when Milwaukee catcher Mike Matheny was hit in the mouth by a fastball from Pittsburgh hurler Rich Lowaxell. Unlike Holliday, Matheny did not even go down. He calmly stepped away, put the bat down and spit out the bloody remains of his shattered mouth. Matheny's teammate Jeff Schrillo later told reporters, "He comes over to me and asks if he went down," Schrillo said. "With an open mouth, I said, a note. And he said, good." Like Holliday, Matheny came out of the game. And like Holliday, he was back in the lineup the next day. He went hitless but threw out a runner trying to steal. Matheny readily remembers the incident. "He has no choice. I was afraid I was going to pass out on the field at the time, so I figured I better get out of Dodge and come out of the game," Matheny said. "About every few months, my dentist and I are reminded of that particular night and the teeth that were damaged. I thought we'd gotten them all out, but it seems like the repercussions still keep showing up from that particular night." The burly Holliday returns to familiar territory left field. Meanwhile, he moves back to the 4th position in the batting order, a place he often has occupied since the All-Star break. Stephen Piscotty, who hit his 14th home run Thursday and leads the club in runs batted in 56, will play right field and bat third. Tommy Pham starts in center field and bats leadoff while Jedd Gyorko, who batted leadoff on Thursday, starts at third and moves to the 7th in the lineup. Cardinals lineup: Sept Diaz, Piscotty, Berra Belford bombs, 1 Molina, Gyorko, 3-1, to Wacha. PMC Sarthi vs Wacha. Dodgers starter Brandon McCarthy 2-0, 169 through 6 shutout innings at Arizona in his last start on Saturday. He allowed only 3 hits and struck out 8, but got no decision in a 12-inning loss. For the Cardinals, Michael Wacha 5-7, for 55 lasted only 4+ innings on Sunday against Miami. Wacha threw 101 pitches, gave up 7 hits, walked 2 and yielded 3 runs. The right-hander is 1-2 with a .338 ERA in 3 career starts against the Dodgers, who beat him 8-4 loss back on May 13. Moss not read Cardinals first baseman/outfielder Brandon Moss, who was leading the team with 17 home runs when he went on the disabled July 5 with ankle sprain, isn't quite ready to return. Moss, who now shares the club lead with Holliday, is doing lots of things well as he rehabs, but he is still experiencing some limitations while running the bases. Rounding the bases has bothered him probably a little more than anything else, Matt Adams said. He's also doing quite a bit. He's swinging the bat well, he's making some plays in the field. I think he's close. It's just going to take a little while until he's feeling perfect. The search with Thursday's rallying 6-5 win over the Padres, the Cardinals climbed to 51-44, matching their season best 7 games over .500. They were within 1 game of Miami for the NL's second wild card spot when action began on Friday. The surging Redbirds were 6½ behind the Chicago for first place in the NL Central, marking the closest they've been to the Cubs since beating them 4-3 on May 23 and moving to within 6 games of first. "We're just going to play," said Matt Adams, declining to put too much emphasis on one game or one stretch. One game for, one game against, a really good game, a really bad game. It really contradicts everything that I truly believe and how I feel about our game. It's just one pitch at a time. Jump back in there, demand good things from ourselves and from each other and keep the pedal down on what our expectations are." That said, the 4-game sweep of the sagging Padres improved the club's disappointing home record to 24-28. "We haven't played well at home," pitcher Adam Wainwright said after Thursday's win. "We're ready for a big winning streak here. We're ready to run off about a 12-spot. Homers landing." Cardinals have homered in 12 consecutive games, their longest streak since 2006. Kershaw questionable. Left-hander Clayton Kershaw's availability for the rest of the season still is in question because of a back issue. He is on the disabled list, which has been visited by the Dodgers 22 times, tied for the New York Mets for the most in the National League. Boston has employed it 27 times. Streaking Dodgers left-handed relief specialist Aldemys Diaz has a franchise record 27-game streak going without allowing the run. That covers 21 2/3 innings,